Hey YouTubers, got another video review for you today. This one's from a company by the name of Diode Dynamics. And if you've not heard of this company, these guys sell some of the best replacement lights on the market. And I did a video a few weeks ago on the tag lights that I replaced in my truck. And so I seen that they had these HID replacement bulbs for my 2017 GMC Sierra, and I thought, let's give it a shot. And I started looking up YouTube videos on it, and I seen that Diode Dynamics had a video out where they did some testing, just on the low output. These increased the brightness by 50%. So that's like ridiculous. And even on high, they were still able to increase the brightness like 43%. And so, your stock bulbs are like a 25 watt, and these jump it up in power to 35 watts. So pretty cool that they're able to take and be able to make an HID replacement that can put out that much more light. I think the lights in my truck are pretty good, but it's starting to get dark early. There was a time change like a week or two ago, and now it's getting dark at 6 o'clock. So I'm going to be doing a lot more night driving. And so I thought, I've got good headlights in there from the factory, but if I could make them 50% brighter, why not? So I decided to go ahead and pick these up. These are the D5As. Yeah, I just looked on their website, and they've got a 4300K. They've got a 5000K, and then the ones that I have here are a 6000K. And the 6000K are the most popular. They're the more brighter white looking lights, and I just think they make the front of vehicles with those brighter lights just look sharp, And so I can't wait to go ahead and get them replaced. Now it's going to take a little bit of doing, not much, but you have to on the driver's side, on the passenger side, you have to remove, the air box and a little panel across the core support there, and bar that goes across the engine bay there. It shouldn't take very long at all, maybe 15-20 minutes to get to where you can replace these. So I'm going to go ahead and quit talking and go ahead and get to it. Now, first things first, whenever you pull these lights out of the package, you'll notice that these are a little bit different than the stock ones because they have some little cooling vents right here on the top and on the bottom there, and on the side. So, with that extra power, you want them to stay cooler and not overheat. Now, these things do have a 3-year warranty on them, and shouldn't have any problems with that. Now, they recommend that you wear a set of rubber gloves whenever you replace these bulbs. Now, I accidentally touched the very tip right in here when I was taking them out of the package. I didn't mean to, but so I'm going to have to go back and wipe it down with some alcohol. So make sure you're very careful and try not to touch those bulbs, because the oils from your fingers can cause hot spots in the bulbs, and it can cause them to bust because these get really hot. So anyways, make sure that you get all the oils off of them. All right, well, you can see I've got my truck out here, and I'm fixing to go ahead and get started on it. Now, I'll go ahead and let you know the driver's side headlight is really easy to get to. You just pop that little dust cap off, and it allows you access to the back of the light there. But like I said, the passenger side is a little bit more involved. You've got to pull all these, I believe there's 12 little clips right in here, all the way across the front, and they're really simple. So if you're debating on how to do this, it's very simple. You just take yourself down to Harbor Freight or anywhere that sells body panel tools that are made out of plastic so you don't scratch anything up, and get you one of these. They're like 10 bucks for a set of like 4 or 5 at Harbor Freight. Super cheap. But if you don't have one, you can use just anything that you got laying around that might seem to work. You can use a screwdriver if you're careful. But right in here, you can see that you got the little clip right in there. You just want to take and slide the little tool up underneath that clip. You see I've got it around it on both sides, and you just push it on in. And once you push it on in and it seats in between there, now you just take and lever down, and it'll pop up. And you can see just how easy that worked. So now you got the rest of them to do. So there's one right here on the side, right here, one right here, the one I just popped, and then, you know, they just go all the way down through here till you get to the very end. And once you get them all done, then you're going to jump to the next step, which is removing this this little bar, this little brace bar, and it's a 10 millimeter. Very simple to do. Now I will say, once you get the little clips popped up in that position right there, then what you want to do is take your trim removal tool, slide it up underneath the whole clip, and just lever down and pop the whole clip out. And just take them all out, set them aside, try not to break them or lose them. So make sure you take your time on this step, because you know, it's no fun to have you know, all these clips right here, and then, you know, you end up breaking one just for being careless. So once you get all the clips removed, you just take and lift up on this little panel here, and it comes all the way across, and it just lifts right up. It's really simple. So once it's lifted off there, you can have access to all the places that you couldn't get to before. So now above your air box, you want to take this little bracing out, and it takes a 10 millimeter, so you can use a nut driver or a socket and a ratchet or a wrench, just whatever you got, and it comes out fairly easy. And so just once you get it loosened up, just move it over to the side or take it off, whichever you prefer. As you can see, I've moved the brace right here. You guys know that I'm running the Volant cold air intake. I've got a wrap on it right in here, but I was just trying to keep the intake temperatures down, and so you're not going to have that wrap on your vehicles. That's something that I added. And what you want to do next is just remove your mass airflow sensor, and what you want to do is just pull up on that little red clip right in there, and then you just squeeze right there, and it pops that connector right off. And now you're able to remove the air box, and you'll have to disconnect it from the tube right in there. So that's why I went ahead and moved that. I didn't want to jar that sensor around too much. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get the box pulled out, and then I'm going to come back to you. Now, first things first, the way that you're going to have to remove that box is just start right here with the hose clamp, and then this thing just kind of pushes out of the way, you know, then it allows you access to the back of this panel right in here. So stay tuned. Now, I just got through pulling the air filter out of the air box so I could reach those bolts down in the bottom there. But one thing I wanted to say and give a plug to one of my companies is Volant. They sent me out this cold air intake that has the Donaldson PowerCore air filter, and I put this thing back in my truck around 2017, because it is a 2017 model. That thing looks brand spanking new. I mean, there's a few little particles of looks like leaves or something, but as far as everything else, I mean, that thing looks super clean. I couldn't be more impressed. You can see on the inside. I'll turn where the sun can look in there, but if you're in the market for a cold air intake, definitely check out the Volant with the Donaldson PowerCore filter, and do a little research on the PowerCore filter. Yeah, it's a great filter. I know a lot of big rigs use PowerCore or Donaldson filters in their trucks, and you know, those vehicles are going over 1 million miles on some of them. So, you know, that's why I wanted this one in particular when I talked to Volant about sending me out a cold air intake, because I was really impressed with everything that I looked up on that particular filter. And yeah, you might find some out there that can gain you a little bit more power, peak power, but you know, you're going to be drawing in more dirt. And so that's why I liked about this one, because it's got a real high efficiency rating on the filter. So it's not just about horsepower. All right, now I went ahead and removed the Volant air box, and to make it a little bit easier for it to get out, I went ahead and just pulled this this bolt out right here and moved this bar back just a little bit, and it provided me enough room to remove the box. And then now it's very simple. You have 3 of these little pry out little pins. There's one there, there's one there, and then there's another one. There's 2 right above one another here, and they're very simple to get out. Now, instead of using the smaller trim removal tools, you might have to use one that's a little bit thicker in order to be able to pry those out, because these just pop out and come out as one piece instead of two pieces like those others. So, and you can see these are a lot different than those other types. These just push in and out, and they're very simple, but just be careful, try not to break them. So once you got those three little push-in clips pulled out, then you just push this little flap down, and now you have access to this little area right in here to get to the back of the headlight. Now you can see right in here it has a little area for you to grip, and you just take and turn it counterclockwise, and it just threads on there, and you just set it aside. And then if you can see right in there that there is the bulb. All right, guys, and now right here on the driver's side, I'm going to show you, because this is going to be the easiest to film. You will not see this on any other YouTube video, because they all are telling you that you have to just pull this little cap off. No, this one twist off counterclockwise, and then they tell you there's a little clip in there on this side to release the bulb. Well, mine does not work that way. For some reason, mine takes and turns a quarter of a turn counterclockwise, and it loosens that bulb up in there. Don't know why this one's different than a lot of the other vehicles, but it is. And I just loosened it up, but it's just too hard for me to try to reach in there and do it while filming. So just take my word for it. I just had it loose, and you'll have to wiggle it to get it out, and then undo the wires. But there is no clip that you release that it goes up and down on this side. I don't know why all the videos show that. I called Diode Dynamics, talked to Logan, and he was able to track it down and told me that the Sierras have a quarter turn to the left to release the bulb. I wish somebody had made another video before this, so I wouldn't have had to sit here and find out the hard way. I was scared I was going to break the housing, so I just didn't want to force it. All right, I just wanted to show you guys the difference between the two bulbs. This one here on the left is your factory Philips 25 watt bulb, and you can see that it doesn't have the little slots cut in it for air circulation. Even on the sides it doesn't have any, where the Diode Dynamics does. All right, guys, well, I got both the bulbs put in, and I went ahead and threw the panel up here, and I'm about to put all my little push-in connectors in there. And what you want to do is just make sure the holes poking through there, and you just push the connector in there, and then you go back and mash it down, and then it's nice and secured in there. It only takes a second to push them in. They go in a lot faster going in than they did coming out. So anyways, there's 12 of them, and so make sure you get them all in. And gotta say, the bulbs went in really easy. If I'd have known that there was no flip up plastic piece to get the bulbs out, I could have literally done all this in probably 15 minutes or less. All right, guys, don't know if you guys can tell or not, but these babies are bright. They're a lot brighter than the factory ones. I can tell you that. Even though it's late afternoon, you can tell that they're a brighter white as far as the color of them as well. It really matches the little halo thing that goes around the light from the factory much better. So I cannot wait to test these out. And I imagine with these bulbs, and then if you run your fog lights like I do sometime, gosh, you should have quite a bit of light output. Well, you wanted to see what it looks like after I got the Diode Dynamics lights put in, and this is the lights on high beam right now. I've got the lights set to auto. You can see it just switched down to low beam, and it is bright. I mean, I wished I would have done this before now, because it makes one heck of a bit of difference. Now, I thought the lights in this thing were pretty decent before, but they're bright now for sure. That's low, there's high. Let me do it again. There's low, there's high. It's pretty amazing. So anyways, check out these bulbs from Diode Dynamics. Now, they're not cheap by no stretch of the imagination. These are $300 bulbs, but you know, most of the replacement bulbs are pretty expensive for it. Didn't really have any problems. The connectors plugged right up and didn't have to wire anything in. They were just plug and play. So I really appreciate companies that make products like that and make it simple for us to install it. So anyways, so far so good. So appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe. So if you're in the market for some HID replacement bulbs, definitely check out Diode Dynamics. They're one of the best in the market.